its neck right off. So I'm getting blood on my face. Oh, you're sprinkling it. What are you doing sprinkling it? Welcome to Joel Reads Bible. I'm Joel, and I read Bible so that you don't have to. And it looks like I'm wearing a necktie or something like that. It looks like the mic is a necktie. We're already having so much fun, and we are into a brand new book. We've got a brand new color. Let me know in the comments how you like our new color scheme. Every time we go to a new book, I'm going to do a new color scheme. So now we're in the blues. It just feels like a Levitical color. I don't know why. It just felt very Levitical to me because we are here in the book of Leviticus. And I did sort of tease in a previous video that there would be a big announcement. And then I pulled back a little. I pulled back and I said, it's not that big of an announcement. Let's not get too carried away. Let's not get too excited. This still is a channel about reading the Bible. It's not going to be that fascinating. Here's the deal. I will be now reading the Bible, if you would like to read along, from a new translation. I have dumped the old translation and now we'll be reading the Bible from the WEB, the World English Bible. And I'm going to be reading it from the translation that has the name Yahweh in it, because I do want to start reading the name Yahweh out, because I think it's important to see Yahweh as his own kind of character, not just say God and then we have God and Jesus. I like the name Yahweh because it's very specific to this particular God. So whenever they use Yahweh in the text, I want to say Yahweh because there may be other gods that have other names. So it'd be good to differentiate those things instead of just like God Most High or Lord, capital L, that kind of thing. Even though a lot of people who are Christians and things will be aware of what that is supposed to mean. But we're using the new copyright-free, not saying that has anything to do with it, but copyright-free edition of the Bible so that we can freely read the rest of the Bible and nobody will ever come knocking at my door. I will say this, it was interesting because I was looking on one of the Bible websites and I was reading the NIV version of a verse, and the wording in that verse was different than the wording in my Bible that I currently have. And when I've been editing this, sometimes as I've been reading on the MIT website, the NIV version, it doesn't correlate with what I read exactly. And either I misread it a little bit or they've changed it, they've updated it. When I've been speaking with Christians, they believe that the devil is changing Bibles in real time. That I don't believe is happening, but they certainly are adjusting translations. So who knows, maybe my old translation is no longer copyrighted. Maybe the new NIV translation is copyrighted, but it doesn't really matter. I'm using the WEB, which hopefully will be a little bit less biased possibly. But now if you want to read along, please jump online to ebible.org and read the World English Bible along with me. Without further ado, just joking, I'm not saying goodbye. Without further ado, I will now begin reading the first chapter and the first verse of the third book of the Bible, and I'm so scared because it's going to be about burnt offerings right out of the gate, and the tent of friggin' meeting. But let's see if we can have fun with it. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, we've come a long way, baby, and we've got a long way to go. So subscribe for the ride and like this video, comment on it, and let's get into it. Leviticus chapter 1. Yahweh called to Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and tell them, when any one of you offers an offering to Yahweh, you shall offer your offering of the livestock from the herd and from the flock." This is starting off, I don't know if it's the translation, but I'm in love with it already. Where do you think Jewish people got musicals from, honestly. And look, and is it wrong to say, I mean, I'm not saying that only Jewish people make musicals, but I mean, if anyone offers an offering to Yahweh, you shall offer your offering of livestock from the herd and from the flock, from the herd and from the flock. You know what I mean? It's just like a perfect, If his offering is a burnt offering from the herd, he shall offer a male without defect. He shall offer it at the door of the tent of meeting, that he may be accepted before Yahweh. He shall lay his hand on the head of the offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. They're so bad. They're such naughty, naughty boys that they need to kill an animal. You gotta kill animals to atone for whatever it is you've been doing. Probably raping your wife, probably selling your daughters, probably taking concubines and not asking for consent from them either. And, that kind of thing. And so you're going, ugh, at least I didn't curse my parents, but I still feel like I need atonement for something. Since I avoided all the stoning stuff, I still do need atonement for the non-stoning stuff. And it's interesting that they do the hand laying. It's like, thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for dying for me, bud. I really do appreciate it. He shall kill the bull before Yahweh, because Yahweh loves it. Yahweh loves seeing animals die. Shed blood. Shed blood. I love blood. Aaron's sons, the priests, shall present the blood and sprinkle the blood around on the altar that is at the door of the tent of meeting. He shall skin the burnt offering and cut it into pieces. Everyone's a butcher in this town. Am I right? This is just a regular guy. Like, everyone's like, okay, so we all know how to skin animals, which is, look, different time. All right. I would never, you kill an animal in front of me and go skin it and then cut it into pieces. Like, of course I'd be able to cut it into pieces. Probably not well, but I'd be able to figure that you just have to hack at it. But to skin it, that would take me a while. I feel like I'd be peeling it, because I don't know what I'm doing. But everyone in this time, they're all butchers. Like I say, they're all butchers. And that makes sense, because it's just you would have to do that probably for eating. You wouldn't have a butcher, I suppose. The sons of Aaron, the priest, shall put fire on the altar and lay wood in order on the fire. In a particular order? All right, where's log A? And then log B. Has anyone seen log B? Perfect, thank you. Log C, I already had that one. Log D, perfect. It could just mean that they're orderly. I don't know. Nobody knows what anything means, and you can ask Bible scholars, they just guess. I got news for you. None of them know either. Just probably meant this. And Aaron's sons, the priests, shall lay the pieces, the head, and the fat in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is on the altar that is inside the house that Jack built. Does anybody know that poem? But he shall wash its innards and its legs with water. The priest shall burn all of it on the altar for a burnt offering, an offering made by fire of a pleasant aroma to Yahweh, because Yahweh loves the smell of burning flesh. Why wouldn't he? It's barbecue, baby, and it's a good time. I've said this many, many times. I get it, Yahweh. I like it too. The only thing that kind of feels weird about it is all the waste. Are they allowed to eat this stuff? I know that the priests are allowed to eat some of it, but this sort of seems like they're cutting up most of it. Well, I guess we're laying the pieces and the head and the fat in order, and then we're burning it all up. So this is completely wasteful. There's not a lot of benefit or value to this, except that the God likes the smell. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Let me work it. But look, if Yahweh's real and really scary, then it is probably worth it. If he's going to kill you, then yeah, it's worth it. But if I were a timeless being, if I were a timeless being that existed infinitely, if I were all powerful and I could just conjure up the smell of burning flesh whenever I wanted, I could synthesize that. I could just make a ram burn it, and then just like whenever I wanted to smell it. Frankly, I feel like I'd be getting bored of the burning flesh smell pretty quick. Maybe in the first million years, but would I require this of some people who could be eating the animals? Your guess is as good as mine. He seems to want it. He is definitely real, definitely a God outside of space and time, definitely infinite, and definitely really loves the smell of burning flesh and wants it now. If his offering is from the flock, from the sheep, or from the goats, you'll accept both of them for now, eh? For a burnt offering, he shall offer a male without defect. We know. What are defects? What is a perfect male? I still don't know that. I'm still curious. What does it mean to have defect? What's on the list? Are we going to see this? Are we going to get a list? Or are we assuming that? Who made the list? You, God, or you expect us just to know? This is where I get suspicious. Because I think killing the firstborn son of a slave girl is bad. And I think that having people go and kill their brothers, friends, and neighbors, them specifically, just for making a golden calf is barbaric and unnecessary and gratuitous. But you seem to think it's good. You seem to think you're righteous and slow to anger. So what is without defect? Because I don't trust myself. You know what I mean? I don't trust my perspective. It's impossible for me with my stupid little human mind to look at an animal and know what is good about it and what is bad about it, because I don't have that frame of reference. You got to spell it out for me, God. Because when I look at what you're doing, it seems bad, but I'm too stupid to realize that it's so darn good. So please, don't just leave it up to my interpretation. That's asking for trouble. He shall kill it on the north side of the altar before Yahweh. So Yahweh's going to be hanging out on the north. Good to know, good to know. Aaron's sons, the priests, shall sprinkle its blood around on the altar. So much stupid sprinkling. He shall cut it into its pieces with its head and its fat. The priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is on the altar. But the innards and the legs he shall wash with water. Okay, I thought I had already read that. I'm like, did I just read the same thing? Did I not scroll? I'm reading it on the computer. Did I not scroll? But it turns out we're just into classic Bible where we just have to repeat everything and I have to read the same thing over and over and over again. Why? I don't want to repeat that over and over again, so I apologize every time I do that. The priest shall offer the whole and burn it on the altar. Waste not, want not. It is a burnt offering, an offering made by fire of a pleasant aroma to Yahweh. What do you think the offering being a bird or something, it might actually be the exact same thing, but just with birds. What do you think there's going to be very little difference? Still not telling us what makes something free of defect, by the way. Still not really properly describing what is holy and what isn't. But at least we know exactly how we're supposed to kill things and burn them arbitrarily. If his offering to Yahweh is a burnt offering of birds, then he shall offer his offering from turtle doves or of young pigeons, not old pigeons. I don't want some old crotchety pigeon going. That's the kill. The priest shall bring it to the altar and wring off its neck. Like, not just like, I killed it. Like, but, I ripped its neck right off. So I'm getting blood on my face. Oh, you're sprinkling it. What are you doing sprinkling it? So it was a really beautiful, righteous, and holy time. And burn it on the altar, and its blood shall be drained out on the side of the altar. Like, so gross. Imagine how this altar looks. When I was younger, I pictured the tent of meeting, with like the purple and it's just all kind of clean and neat and gold and shiny. And the priests are wearing some linen and they're clean and everything's just very meticulous, kind of picturing like the inside of a Catholic church. But for some reason, I always pictured it a little bit more bright with more white or something like that. But really what this would be is just like blood-stained shit everywhere. Blood stains probably in the sand on the floor, blood stains dripping down the side of you can't get that out. Like, eventually it's just going to be brown stains just smeared everywhere and sprinkled everywhere, and it's going to get on the curtains, guys. It's going to get on the curtains. Just blood everywhere. Try to clean it. And the priests with just like brown blood splotches and just absolute gore and so disgusting. And the stench that's going to come out of this place is absolutely going to be horrific. And he shall take away its crop and its feathers and cast it beside the altar on the east part in the place of the ashes. Just throw it on the heap. All we want you to do is squeeze out the blood like lemon juice and just get it on the altar, just so we got more blood there, because God loves that. He shall tear it by its wings, but shall not divide it apart. The priest shall burn it on the altar on the wood that is on the fire. It is a burnt offering, an offering made by fire, of a pleasant aroma to Yahweh. Well, guys, that's gross. That was Leviticus chapter 1, and we're off to a disgusting start. I didn't like it, and I hope you didn't like it either, because that's just plain disgusting. I know we saw this before when we were consecrating this place, but now there's just a little bit more detail that's just going to make your stomach turn. And I wish this were not so. I honestly did not enjoy that. But we'll hope that this improves in the next chapter. But thanks for joining me for Leviticus. It's good to be back. I hope you guys enjoyed how Exodus ended, or the fact that it did end. For me, I was grateful, but now after reading this, I'm like, can we get more Exodus 32, man? I need more story. Like, I feel like we're not going to have a good time for a few chapters. But you know what? We're going to get through it together, and that's what this is. It's Joel Reads Bible, and we all suffer. So thanks for suffering with me, and we will see you next time. Hey, listen, if you're a masochist, subscribe and like this video and comment on it so the algorithm knows you love me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.